Good morning, everyone. I'm just going to be getting the Instagram feed set up. Just want to make sure that everything YouTube-wise is all set. Um, so we can. We'll check. Okay, perfect. Everything is good. So just going to get Instagram set up. And then we're going to start our live stream meditation this morning. Hope everyone is doing well. Now, today's meditation is, well, we might as well just wait. We'll wait for Instagram folks to catch up. Okay, we're live on Instagram too. So welcome, everyone. Today is our final week of this month of love. And to kind of bring everything that we've done together this month in terms of showing love and building compassion for ourselves, we have to finish it off with, one of the most important parts of this, the expression of love and compassion towards others, really loving life for all that it has to offer and not limiting yourself, I guess you would say, in your treatment of others based on past. So today, a lot of it is really about letting go, being able to really not only see people for who they are, but to be able to kind of express love evenly for all people, which is often at times the most difficult thing to do. So the most important thing about today's meditation is going to be simply letting go of expectation. And the reason why I use the word expectation is because more often than not in our lives, we only get upset with another person, with an experience, when the reality doesn't meet how we imagined it would be, or how we assumed, or expected, or anticipated, or prepared for. And you can see this express itself for so many different aspects of life. And more often than not, when we get close to people, when we get close to other beings, part of love is vulnerability. And when we open ourselves up to others, we have this tendency, unfortunately, to express ourselves and to kind of interpret the actions of others through this filter of, oh, you know me. I've opened up to you. You know me. You shouldn't do that. I don't like that. I don't want that. And it's something that we all do, and there's a saying, and it kind of, I feel like in my experiences that it's applied to many people that I've encountered and talked with this topic about. And we have a tendency to treat those closest to us with kind of like that higher standard and a little bit almost uh, a more tough love in a sense. And I don't mean tough love by just saying no and things, but a toughened love by the fact that it's been through things in the past. And it kind of uses that experience to kind of, hey, we've been through things. You shouldn't be doing that. We know that. And no matter what and how you express love, maybe you do that type of expression of love, and you assume the person should know you for acquaintances. Maybe you do it the exact opposite. Maybe you do it for people that don't know you that much, that you have this really high standard, and so your inner circle is smaller. And honestly, it doesn't really matter how you choose to express love to those closest to you, because today's meditation is really about treating all beings, all life, with love, and not only treating them with love, but living love. And I want to use that specifically because you are living love's message out into the world. You are living the loving life out into this experience called life. And the most important thing with this is that you're not treating just those closest to you with love. You're treating everyone evenly, loving all beings equally. And instantly when that statement gets said, a lot of people receive it with tension. Oh, what do you mean love everyone equally? Oh, I love my family more than I love anyone else. But really, why? I say this not as a sense of, is not your family worthy of that intimate love? Your close ones worthy of that intimate love, but more so, why do other beings deserve to be loved less? It's meant to propose a question: what really does stop you from loving others as much as you love those closest to you? So, hopefully, and the goal of today's meditation is to get you to this realm where that's not such an uncomfortable idea, loving everyone equally. Not only loving everyone equally because we are equal, but loving others equally because it just feels better to love. So, we're going to explore this. Now, per usual, just make sure you're finding a comfortable place to sit. And if not, if you don't like sitting upwards, if you have back pain or anything like that, you can lie down. Just make sure you don't fall asleep. So, I ask that you find a nice, quiet place. And honestly, it doesn't need to be quiet, just somewhere where you can focus. Because sometimes for me, I like ambient noise. I like the birds chirping in the background, so I leave the window open because I like to hear the breeze of the wind as well. So do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Do whatever makes you feel at peace, more calm. Oh, and today is February 23rd, but don't miss out tomorrow because I'm going to be doing a live stream meditation workshop so you can learn the ins and outs and how to build your own practice of meditation. As usual, we will start with ohms and bells, but right now, simply relax. Allow your body to breathe normally. Rest in your breath. Relax with each exhale. Let go with each inhale. Love, happiness, pleasure, pain, desire, instinct. We all feel these and many more expressions of being. And as people, we can express with an infinite array of emotion, physical expression, and audible speech. And just as we hold those closest to us, most cherished to us, tight with a loving embrace, the same expression can be seen across the kingdom of life. Does not the mother bear Hold her cubs tightly, cuddle them. Does your dog and cat not express love towards you, its guardian, protector, and adopted parent? And do the plants not perk up in the sunlight and grow big and strong with nourishment? Does the ant not flee the heat of the magnifying glass and the sun's rays intensified? Does the animal not cry when it's hurt or shot? Does the mother elephant not wail when her child is trapped? Do plants not send out their many array of chemicals when they are clipped and trimmed? And does the forest not talk through its roots? All life expresses itself. All life enjoys life. For each being lives and dwells in this realm of I, of me-ness, of individuality, of being. So why do you treat life different? The biggest misconception that we make as humans is that we are outside of life. But in truth, looking at all the kingdoms of animals, plants, and all the various people, we are life itself. We are life itself. There is no difference between you and I. Only that some believe themselves to be other. When I look out into the world, I see myself. When I look into the eyes of another being, I see myself. One cannot look out into this experience called life and tell themselves this. You must come to experience it through your first-hand witnessing. You come to recognize and understand that all there is one. As mentioned many times before, we do this by looking inward, discovering what is the sensation and experience and knowing that we call I, that I feel and sense as me. What am I? Who am I? Through resting in the thought I am, you come to know all else. So how does one build love and express love towards others without having this realization? You simply confirm the truth of your own experience, for that's all you can do. And through the doorway of yourself, you will be opened to the infinite expression of life. Finding a deeper connection, truly being one with all. For our own understanding of our pleasures and pains, fears, doubts, joys, loves, we come to better understand the expression of them. And through the understanding of ourselves, we can look out into this world and use that same understanding of ourself to build bridges of love and compassion with others. When someone wrongs you, rather than jumping into the impulse and the instinctive action of lashing out or running away, you simply observe your own response arising within you, and you can observe the other person and understand that they may be going through something just as you have when you've lashed out. They may be experiencing something that you may know, but they have yet to learn. And through your own understanding of your life journey and your own experience, you can look out into the world and see that all other beings on this planet called Earth are also living life, learning lessons, growing through failures, and striving for more success and happiness. But ultimately, we all share the common goal. We all share the common drive. All life wants to be loved, be happy, no matter the definition of where and how you get that happiness. We all seek it out. The greatest misunderstanding, we seek out love. But what I'm asking you to do is to look and see and to come to understand that you are love, that all is love. Sorry about that. No matter what happens in life, come to understand that love will help you through. All is love because when we look at life, everything boils down to whether we love it or we don't. You do something because you love it. You may not love the action, but you love the result. You love the outcome. And just like addicts love their substances or actions that they are addicted to, we only do certain things because we love them more than others. I've also used the term affection for this. But in truth, we must come to know it as love. When we see it as love, we see it for what it really is, the essence, boiling it down, getting rid of the excuses, the fluff, and seeing our actions for what they truly are. And this is where we must be honest with ourselves if we truly seek to love others. I cannot sit here and tell you, if you're just kind and polite and happy, others will love you. Your life will be filled with love, because that's not how any of this works. You may be kind and loving to others, but unless you love yourself, you may be abused by them. You may overlook flaws, and you may lead yourself down a destructive path. Sometimes the most loving action is to simply say no and walk away. The one trick, the one tool, the one resource you have is yourself. For through your own understanding of your own beingness, you can use it like a mirror and look out into the world and see your own reflection. As stated before, when dealing with adversity or chaos of another, look at them and observe, how do you do the same or similar? Even the lessons taught here in these meditations, all is intended for you to reflect upon yourself. For your own sense of self, your own beingness is the only reference frame you will ever understand. Because you will experience it from this reference frame of I. To love others, we must remember life. Remember that each being has a past. And no matter how much information you know about someone, you don't know what's going on within their body, heart, and mind. Patience is a result, an effect of love. Because through love, we understand that not everyone gets it the first time. That people have flaws just as we have flaws. And through our own acceptance of ourselves and our wrongs, we can more openly and lovingly accept others and help others and build up others. Life is life. Things happen. Fundamentally, life is not within our control, for anything, truly anything, can happen at any moment. And when we take things for granted, whether it be life or people, we lose sight of the importance of living a happy, loving life, of what it means to live and be Ultimately, we must learn to trust life. Even that statement can cause tension to arise, for we have been wronged by so many in this world. And if you haven't been wronged by many and hurt by many, then see the fortunate situation you are in. And if you have been wronged, realize the massive potential that you have. For all we experience in life is grace. And no matter what the lesson may be, as long as we learn something, you're utilizing that experience for its true purpose to teach. Life is the classroom where we can grow and build wisdom, where we can rise above the lesser expressions, the more animalistic natures, and to melt away all delusion and to live a life freely, liberated from pain and suffering. We must look inward and love ourselves. Be curious and discover who and what you are through love. Look out into the world and think about your own self and experience when interacting and engaging others. Build understanding, build deeper bonds and relations through knowing the fundamentals, the truths of life, that we're all beings. We all want love, we all deserve love. Look out into the world and see yourself. It is the simplest way to build these bridges of love with other until you recognize that there is no other. There is only one. Though it's inexpressible, the simplest term to use for life is love. And just like the child must learn how to crawl and walk, so too the parent must love their child enough to let them fail, so they may learn to walk, stand on their own. So too must we look out at this world in such loving light. Love the process of growth, of development, of evolution. Love the infinite possibility of letting go and embracing something new. And ultimately let go of your expectations and never be disappointed. Be open to life. Be open to experience. And come to see that the tension that's created is more often than not your own. The judgment that you perceive is just your own thoughts, dividing you and separating you from other. Love is the expression of our own being. And all life wants this, seeks this love out. And you are not only capable but worthy of such love. To love is to be as you are, without holding on to past memory, future angst. To simply be here now in this present moment, simply looking out, listening, and sensing this world from this reference frame we call I. And when you interact with someone, hear their voice, look into their eyes, know firsthand that that same me, I, that same sense of self that you feel, so do they. Bring more responsibility, bring more accountability into your life, and know that every action you put out into this world can impact someone, will impact someone. And all we can ask from ourselves is to put nothing but love and goodness out into the world. That's all we can truly control is ourselves, is it not? And as mentioned earlier, sometimes the most loving action is to simply say no. When you are experiencing those treating you without love or consideration, do not lower your sense of self. Do not lower your understanding of life. Do not lower your own integrity and standard of excellence. Love. It takes more energy and effort to hate, to live and experience life as separate or other. It requires more work to build up and to perpetuate this delusion that you are outside of life rather than looking at the facts. You are life. You are here present listening to these words, are you not? And you are no different than the cat, the cow, the camel, the giraffe, the tree, the fish, the worm, the bird, the sun, the moon, the earth, and this universe. Let go of the entitlement and ego. Let go of the excuses and beliefs that you are separate and other. And the notion, entertain these words. You are not what you think you are. And if you don't know what you are, then discover it, for you are capable. And through this discovery, you will learn these words are truth, all on your own and through your own observation and experiencing, that all life is one. All beings are on the same level playing field, for all is love. This sense of identity and separation we have is learned behavior. So you must recognize the truth every moment you can. Through consistency, you will see. For it is through these what seem like efforting actions of looking out into the world and seeing others as yourself, as reaffirming and reminding yourself that others live pain and have gone through things just as you have, that these recognitions will put you in a space where you may clearly see, and to no effort of your own, you will awaken to the truth that all is one, all is love, and that this game of life is a divine dance, a divine play with the same actor behind every face. Your sense of me will never go away. Only your current understanding of it will vanish. A deeper connection with life, a deeper connection with others. This is what is offered to you. Understanding life, recognizing truth, living in this truth. That is what is offered to you. Living life freely, flowing with the universe, recognizing the one and all. That is what is offered to you. You will be filled with love, peace, and calm, because that is truly all that's really there within ourselves. Vast space, love, and calm. But you must look within. And when you look out into this world, look within. See your own beingness, your own internal space through the external eyes and ears and mouths of others. Just as they speak to you, you listen to them. And just as they're talking and you're listening, you're both on this level playing ground of being, of life interacting with itself. And when you live and remind yourself of the truth that you experience and take for granted daily, when you observe the subtleties that we overlook, more and more you align, realigning yourself with the truth of life. And those doorways will open up into more doorways and different avenues of exploration where you can sink deeper into the understanding of life, yourself, and all else. But you must be disciplined and show some consistency. For it took consistent misunderstanding to bring you to this current state where you are searching for truth, purpose, completion, union, love, happiness, joy. So let go of your expectations, let go of your assumptions and beliefs, and come to know firsthand who and what you are. Come to recognize and see others for who and what they truly are. Beings worthy of love and respect. And that concludes our meditation for this morning. Now, the most important thing to recognize is life isn't formulaic in a sense where you can't just do A, B, C, D, E, and then all of a sudden, ooh, I love everyone. um, and that's why you can't even say, just love everyone. There has to be a sense of understanding, and that's what we call wisdom. How to truly apply these lessons we've learned, how to truly apply all that we know in a setting where it's going to yield positive results for both parties, all parties involved. Because, as mentioned, you can't just love unconditionally and not be smart about who you open yourself up to, because you can get hurt, you can get abused. Just as much as there's good in life, there's bad, and that's one thing that needs to be understood. Because through the bad, we learn the good. And this is the most important point of the statements, as you must look within and really see yourself and others, because until you really start to look at especially the bad, unless if you really don't look at the chaos that can be created in life from other people, you live this sense of misunderstanding and misidentification and ignorance that, oh, I can't believe that you do this. I wouldn't do that. It's like, that's just not true. We've all made mistakes, and no matter if someone's is more severe than yours, you can still look at your own life and see, oh wow, I've done that in a similar way. Everything is grace, and it's grace in the sense that everything is a loving action, whether you want to see it or not. You may not be happy about it because it didn't meet your expectation and it's not what you want, quote unquote, but everything is grace, because you can learn and grow from everything we experience in life. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Those who have been wronged and suffered and been gone through painful experiences, you have the most to gain. Your sense of compassion for others can be so much stronger than someone who has lived a life of comfort, someone who's been allowed to perpetuate their ignorances. Look at something for the truth that it is. It makes you a stronger person going through stuff that's bad. It really does. And it makes you so much stronger than anyone and anything else, because you come to learn that the life that you've lived in the past doesn't define who you are right now. You make your life. Please understand that. You make your life what it is. What you choose to do, who you choose to engage with. It's all it all boils down to this sense of choice. But again, I don't like to use those words. I really prefer affection and love. You let people treat you how you feel like you should be treated. You do things in life how you feel like you should do things. But really, no one's out here making rules. I give suggestions. I try to formulate things and put them in ways that you can explore it on your own. And everything that is said and that I do speak upon is meant to be questioned thoroughly by yourself. You can't come to really open up and love everyone and everything and see everything as good, and even when things are bad, to have that optimism, to have that positivity. It goes beyond just affirmations to yourself, and it comes through firsthand experience and knowledge and trust, and that is built upon knowing firsthand these truths that have been mentioned, that you can come to learn and experience everyone and everything else as yourself. And I give you these words of encouragement. All you have to do is just stick with it. Just stick with the sense that, you know, look out into the world and just reflect upon yourself while you're living it. When you see someone that is crying alone, you know, go ask them, are they okay? Because how would you want to feel? How do you feel when you're pained? And you may say, oh, well, Peter, when I'm crying and I'm upset, I just want to be left alone. Well, guess what? That's not you. That other person isn't you. The only thing that you know is that they're not okay. And it's your responsibility to ask them, because a lot of people, we don't want to ask. We don't want to, let people know, oh, I'm really upset right now. I'm really hurt. I need someone to talk to. Just go up to them, put yourself out there, and see how life responds. More often than not, the most opportune moments that have just blown up life in terms of good things, not bad things, but have just been those doors where it's like, wow, what are the odds of our paths crossing? Have been through those moments where they were instantly met with hesitation or, sorry, I'm hitting the mic. They're instantly met with hesitation or tension, where it's like, oh, or doubt, pessimism. Oh, I don't really know if I want to do that. I feel uncomfortable. And the moment you kind of go on that other doorway of fear, you're like, oh wow, this has actually been really cool, and I've grown from this. I've learned from this. And the only thing that I can say is, if you do that with everyone and everything else, life will open up to you like a flower in the sunshine, and I can't express it enough. Things will fall in your lap because you're finally starting to live the truth that life's always showing you. You know, the simplest act of kindness can drastically change someone's life. And it may not be why or how you think it should be. Now, this talk has been on love, and from the external viewpoint, it looks a lot like it's been focused, as the first two meditations, really more internally, coming to understand and love yourself to love others. But one needs to really recognize that you can't love anyone or anything else if you don't love yourself. And you can't really come to grow into that understanding of who and what we are unless you really start to question it. And most importantly, you can't build bridges of understanding with others if you don't look out at the world and see it in some way, reflect it back some way to align it with your own self. Because the ego operates in self-interest. I like to see it as the animal that keeps us alive in this animalistic world. But you are spirit in matter, a union of two worlds. And you must overcome natural division that comes up within this human experience. The ego, I see it as a survival tool, because if you purely align with your spiritual being, then you forget things like eating, you forget things like danger. You just kind of you live very um, much so like people on spiritual journeys or psychedelic trips where it's just love. And as just mentioned before, that can lead you into some very perplexing situations. But the purpose of ego in our sense as beings on this planet is to really overcome it through your own spiritual sense of understanding yourself, of love, through love. And it's through that love that you begin to question the thoughts and emotions and sensations that come up. It's through that love that you get curious of, well, why do you do that? Why do you respond that way? And then that same love and expression and exploration of self can apply itself to the external and branch out into life. And that is the point where you start to assimilate this understanding with your experience. And you can really begin to look out at others and reflect upon yourself. How do I express things similarly? How do I grow from this? And the mind will easily say, oh, well, that's kind of selfish, looking out at the world and just kind of applying yourself to everyone's drama. But it's not. It's how you build understanding. It's how you really start to I not identify, but sympathize and empathize with others, that you begin to put yourself in their shoes. And when you do this in the moment of life and living, oh wow, you'll be shocked at how much more sensitive you are to others' emotions. And that itself, it's love. You have to be careful about it. You have to be wise about it. Um, you can't allow this understanding and these new doorways of experience put you in a realm where you hold on to others' emotions. So give yourself the freedom by looking at everyone else you experience. And in the back of your mind, before you interpret or judge their statements or actions, just look at how you've done similar things in your own life. And instantly it will melt away a lot of tension. Um, and that's really the only piece of advice I can say. I will end with this story. Now, we have, and by we I mean like my wife and I, we live in an apartment complex, and we have an elderly retired neighbor up on the third floor. And, he's in rough shape, um, and he doesn't really have family to help him out with stuff. And this was, gosh, I want to say almost, it's a little bit more than a year ago, around September. He called and was like, "Oh, I actually need to go to the doctor. I can make it, but will you be able to pick me up and bring me home?" Because he was going through some like dilation stuff, so he wouldn't be able to see that well. Um, and hands down, always help out the elderly that don't have people. That's one of my life things, because you never know what you're going to be in that situation when you're alone. I'm the youngest in my family, so one of the realities that I kind of have to face as the baby of the family is that more than likely or not, my whole family is going to die before me. Um, so that's a level of sincerity with this action where it's I'm a firm knower that if you put love and positivity out there, it will come back. So I don't do these actions to and our elderly neighbor, and I don't help him out because of this karmic cycle. I help him out because he deserves it. He's an elderly person that's alone. Through someone who's been through lonely and depression and isolated states, any type of interaction and kindness really brightens up someone's life. And there's an importance with that. So back to the September story about a little more than a year ago. Um, I was, I just meditated, I was working and I just got out of work and, it was just post meditation. It was sunny. It was really nice out. And I was like, oh yeah, let's go pick up, neighbor. Don't want to give his name out. And while I was driving, I was just stuck in this same, I just felt that love from the meditation was just carrying over. And I was just looking at the world. And one of the things that I was practicing in my meditation at this time was this sense of, I am really looking at this and just not, and looking from a place of just being, purely being, and just recognizing it and just feeling it and really just embracing this moment, this now. And I remember driving down I-5, and it was like crossing the bridge, getting into, like, right before getting to like the downtown area. And I just fell away. Um, I just dropped away. This sense of I, this individual. And that was the moment that Peter, as I knew it, died. And it was just, just walking, not even walking, driving down the street, just feeling the sun and just, just really just observing life. And the moment I let go, and I wouldn't even say that I let go, it was just spontaneously happening. It arose just like that. Next thing you know, I was gone. And in that moment, I was filled with such oneness, love, peace, union. And it was like touching, this table and this laptop and the carpet. It was just feeling the sun's rays and breathing the air and just feeling the steering wheel and seeing the other cars. There was no sense of separation. It was it was what I knew all along. It had just felt so true. And instantly it was just like this knowing of just, this is it. This is it. And the only reason why I say I can actually recognize what it really was, what I was experiencing was an awakening of the heart, was because I've experienced similar things on ayahuasca journeys. And on my last one, it was like, oh, you don't need these things to feel this, to experience this. You can know it. It was just one of those really powerful things that just resonated with me. And the moment that I kind of dropped away, that same just reassurance, or just like, came up into my being. And it was in that moment that not a care in the world. And it was so funny. After that, I got to the hospital. I was just kind of looking around. I was really, at first it was really trippy. I'm gonna be real with you. It was very disorienting. Because it was like I was looking for this. Where am I? I was looking for me, and I saw it all around me. I could feel the tree, and that was me. I had my hand resting on the tree because it was disorienting. You had to take a second. Um, and the only reason why I say I didn't lose it was because I'd kind of experienced these things before, and I had, this was kind of the purpose of my search, was to really let go of this human existence, to really liberate myself and be free. And it's not what you expect. It's not what the mind ever expects. Um, and I only give this story to kind of put you in a space that when you put yourself in the realm of being open, of observing, just observation, um, life happens spontaneously. And you begin to pick up on that more, and then these events will happen more and more likely because you're putting yourself in the realm where you're opening yourself up to be graced, so to speak. And when this happened, everything just kind of became effortless. And that's when I started to recognize the flow, and our true nature really is effortless. And all of the interactions the rest of that day and for a while, um, were just nothing but things lining up like perfect timing. No matter where I went, it was just like getting in line, and all of a sudden, huge crowd came, or more so, even things like just people holding the door open, people being more smiley than usual. And as a person with big hair, you get looks of judgment quite often. Um, but it just really opened up life, and everything else just kind of fell in place. And it was a beautiful experience. I'll leave it for another day because it's been a while, but I got to get going this morning. I hope you had a great meditation. Namaste. This concludes our month of love, and don't miss out tomorrow on our meditation workshop, 11 p.m. or no, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Thanks for watching. Bye.